Hi, I'm Ben Schachter, broker and president of the Signature Real Estate Companies. Welcome to Signature Tube. Today, I am joined by Michael Greenstein, Managing Director of PuroClean. Welcome, Michael. So glad to have you here today.
Thanks for having me. Fantastic.
We're thrilled to have you. Tell me a little bit about yourself, and I want to hear all about PuroClean and how your business operates.
So I've been now in the property damage restoration business since 2006. I started off in the business being a claims adjuster, helping settle catastrophic property damage claims. After a few years of doing that, I decided I wanted to stop telling all my good customers no and start telling people yes. So I jumped on the other side of the fence and opened up a restoration contracting franchise. That was in 2008. So I have a unique kind of relationship between, knowing the insurance side of the business, but also being a contractor and helping people out when there's some kind of unexpected damage to their home or business.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So currently you're with PuroClean, you're the managing director.
Correct.
Tell us a little about PuroClean. I'd love to hear the company's history, what makes the company special. Tell me about PuroClean. PuroClean
is an arrow-up firm. I say it every day, not only the whole franchise as an entity, but also our particular office. PuroClean was founded in 2001. About 2 years ago, it was purchased by a new ownership group who are going to take this company to the next level. Mark Davis, the CEO, and Frank Torrey, the co-CEO, these gentlemen are dynamite, and they're gonna just take this company where they anticipate, which is we're an industry leader right now, but we want to be the best. And how are we going to do that? Just plain and simple, relentless, positive customer service, and always being there when you call or need us.
Wonderful.
And so that's kind of the direction that we're heading. And more recently, we're exploding as far as our new franchise sales. But our particular location here locally is a wonderful opportunity for customers to take advantage of, because we're the only company-owned store out of 250 offices across the U.S. and Canada. So the franchisor actually owns this particular office. So not only can you get the best service, but also you're going to be backed knowing that the owners of the entire network are looking at our particular jobs and our customers and our customer satisfaction.
I think that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Now, the company's name is PuroClean.
Correct.
Obviously, we all understand the word clean. We all understand the word pure. I understand that you don't just clean property. Tell us exactly what it is that PuroClean does, because I don't want our viewers to think that you're any kind of a housekeeping or janitorial service.
Correct.
That's clearly not what you do. Tell us what PuroClean does.
Yeah, we're more revolved around the damage aspect of homes and buildings. So water damage, mold damage, fire restoration, also biohazard. We do biohazard cleanup. That's like crime scene stuff, or also any situation, hoarder situation or something like that that's not really very fun, but it's what we're set up to do. We're wired differently. We're not a regular cleaning company. We have the training, the experience, the certifications, the licenses to really handle any size loss. We're willing to take the small, we're willing to take the big. We have the availability through PuroClean and also our sister company, Signal Restoration, to actually handle really anything. You have the hometown feel with the local everyday water damage, fire, candle that catches the drapes, which catches, all the rest of the house. You also have a large loss backing where we have, if my certain office cannot handle some damage that's over our head, whether it's volume or capacity or equipment, we can make one phone call and get an 18-wheeler and basically an army there almost right away to take over and take it from there as far as large loss stuff goes.
Here in Florida, with the weather, #1 damage that I see as a real estate agent is always water related. It could be an air conditioning that drips, it could be a toilet overflows, it could be a roof leak in the rain outside. How do you deal with water damage? Because a lot of people have no idea what to do once their home or their real estate is filled with water or has water damage. Can you give us some idea on water damage and how you deal with it?
That's an excellent point, Ben. With the real estate transaction, I mean, we're in the tropics, down here in South Florida. It's humid, it rains. Some of the construction around here is probably suspect at best. that does create problems. And generally, you're going to find a home inspector, while some kind of transaction going on, finding some type of damage. So we're the ones to call to find out, is this a minor thing? Is this a major situation? And the way that we do that is through testing and experience. So we have meters, we have infrared cameras, we check the building material. Is it wet? Is it rotted? Does it have mold-like substance? If we suspect there to be mold growth, we have to have it tested. Here in the state of Florida, that is regulated, where if we're concerned about the air quality or mold being in a home, it has to be tested by a third party. So we'll go through all that case-by-case basis, but there is a methodology to all of this. The drying, we actually have a 2,000-foot single-family home in our corporate office in Tamarack, which is maybe 45 minutes from here.
Oh, like a testing center.
It's a testing center and a training center. We're one of about maybe 20 or 30 of these homes in the world. Is right down the street here, where we have our people come in. We flood a house. It's 2,000 feet, fully permitted. It's basically someone could live there if they wanted to. All the appliances work, and each room has like different flooring and different type of paint and different type of wallboard. So this way we can show and train people how to dry buildings as quickly and as inexpensively as possible. So we help save everybody money just by our training and also by our experience in how to do this stuff.
So just because a property has moisture doesn't mean the property is a complete loss. You don't have to tear the property down and start over. You have methodologies to remediate that water and clean any damage up so the property can be re-inhabited by its occupants?
Absolutely. Our goal in water damage is try to salvage as much as possible. We're not one of those gutting companies. We just go in there and before you blink your eyes, half the room is gone. There's people out there that do that. It's just a different way of doing business. We take pride in trying to save the carpet. We take pride in trying to save the paint and the drywall. There's some stuff, if it's category 2 or 3 water, which is basically some kind of contaminants or gross contamination, we have to remove some stuff. But we really do, like right now we're drying an oak floor that's continuous throughout the whole home, and only maybe 10 or 20 feet of it's actually water damage. So we're trying to save this floor so the rest of it doesn't have to come up.
So it sounds like the insurance companies probably would be happy to work with you, because it sounds like your business model is to try to keep costs down as opposed to increase the cost by ripping everything out.
Yeah, we're PuroClean has many national accounts, most notably Allstate Insurance as well as Liberty Mutual. Our vendor program with them so far is going great, where our feedback has been phenomenal. Down here in Florida, we have many different types of carriers. We have the big guys, we have medium, we have small, we have a state-run company. So they do enjoy our work. Recently, when they hear that PuroClean is on the scene, I think that we're getting more well known to be, oh, thank goodness. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people out there that are going to rip the house up before the carrier even comes to look at it. And a lot of our business doesn't even involve insurance. We just work for the homeowner. Mm-hmm. And so the homeowner obviously wants to keep the price reasonable. Where our market is not the low-cost provider. Our market is, let's do the job the best we can as efficiently as possible, but we are going to do the right thing by the book, which is or the way we're certified as an industry by the IICRC.
Now, if there's any damage to a property and the material in the home, the carpet, the wallboard, the cabinets, if it's not salvageable and you have to remove it because it could have contaminated water or it's just too destroyed, are you the company that's going to do the reinstallation of new material, or do they work with a general contractor to bring in the new materials to do the new install?
More of the second. Generally, the most common scenario with a residential property is we were not going to offer reconstruction services probably for the next few years. This particular office has other kind of short-term goals in mind. I see eventually us going there. For right now, we're not, but we do have a large loss and commercial construction general license where we can do some of the bigger stuff. So it's kind of like yes and no. But if anyone has any questions, they can call me anytime to discuss. But for most residential stuff, the answer is no. But we do have a company that we can bring in that will do larger commercial and larger residential projects.
So there are competitors in your space. We've used here at Signature your services, otherwise I would not have invited you as a guest today.
And I thank you.
We feel really good about your reputation, your services, your skill set, and we know that PuroClean does a wonderful job. Tell me, in your opinion, as an industry insider, what really sets your company apart? Where do you rise and shine above the competition?
It's all about our people, Ben. You know, we all basically have about the same equipment. We all basically go to about the same level of training, some more than others, but you know, and we have an edge also because of that house that I was telling you about in Tamarack, where we have our own in-house way to do it. But it's relentless customer service. It's bending over backwards no matter what it is that they need. It's the way that you know, people speak about our company is what we're looking for. We do not leave until they're happy. My people are trained. Ma'am, sir, we're about to leave for the day, or this is our last day on the job. Before I go, take a look around. If there's anything else you need, let me know before I go. This way we don't have to come back and you don't have to call us again. You know, a lot of times when we're done with the job, they're like, Greenstein, you know, crew, what have you, we love you, but we hope we never see you again because we don't want to have another leak or another fire. So it's all about customer service. It's all about always being there, answering your phone. You know, my phone is basically sits on the ledge next to me in the shower. I constantly have to grab it while I'm in the shower to make sure it's not a big loss or
Thus
something.
creating water damage in your own home.
Yeah, or the phone. You know, the phone's been replaced.
So tell me, this great staff that you speak of,
Yes.
The people X factor that makes the difference. Do you subcontract out to bring in employees to do the cleaning and the restoration, or are these employees of PuroClean and yours?
They're in-house. You know, when we send someone there, they're going to have a badge with their name on it, saying that who they are and which franchise they work for. They're also going to say that we're licensed and insured. Very important to us that especially on the mitigation, the emergency damage scenarios where you're calling us on a, you know, Wednesday at 3 in the morning. You know, you need to make sure who's coming in your house has been screened, is drug-free, you know, and all the good stuff, and is insured. It's a very kind of, that's the biggest kind of edge that our customers feel, is who's coming here to do this work. What is their experience level? How are we going to be treated? You know, also the damage with, you know, the animals flowing through their house. You know, it's like Noah's Ark situation. But yeah, they're very concerned about that, and I agree. So yeah, our people are trained at the same place. We have meetings every day about how we're going to get better and how we're going to improve, because we're not flawless. You know, we have things that we're working on. We have things that we don't even know about yet that we need to work on, that we're looking for. So we're always trying to stay ahead. You know, my people are really, really great people. We have the support by the local home office, which is our corporate headquarters in Tamarack. We also have the CEO and the co-CEO of the entire network constantly checking in and coming into our shop. My particular shop is the host for a section of when new franchises come in to potentially buy an area. They come in and spend some time with me at my shop. They take a look at our gear and our trucks and how we train our people and some of our methodologies. But it's really, at the end of the day, just trying to get better every day and constantly be, you know, with the customer service. I mean, once that's gone and you lose sight of that, then you're just like everybody else.
And that's your reputation, and customer service.
And yeah.
Specifically in real estate, Signature has over 650 real estate agents. You work with agents both in my company and lots of other brokerages around the state of Florida. Tell me how you feel that you and PuroClean can be a value add to specifically a real estate agent. Where do you come in to the real estate transaction where you could be more helpful to us? You have a great skill set, skills that we don't possess. What do you bring into the real estate transaction that makes life easier for the real estate agent?
So there's two points there. Number one is I will provide, so when an home inspector finds an area with, let's say, water or mold damage, or usually you don't find fires generally. It's
Hopefully
usually
not active fires, at least,
right.
during the home inspection.
Or call me so I can run out there and clean it. But so we have the biggest thing really is mold that I see. That and deodorization, which is the second piece. But mold remediation and finding mold or suspect mold in a house, very common with a real estate transaction. I'm actually surprised when there's not mold, right, at this point. So what I offer is a program. It's called a 24-hour range. So if you send me the home inspection report, usually the home inspector takes some pretty good photos. Generally, it's enough, and the information they provide is enough, where within 24 hours of me receiving the information, I will send you a range, what it will cost to remediate each area that is a concern.
And you don't even have to go out to the property to help if you have the right photos?
And generally, I don't have to go to the property. This creates a huge increase as far as efficiency, because most of the time you guys just need to know that it's not $100,000 to fix it. Usually you need some kind of idea. So when I send you a ballpark range, it's like let's say $1,500 to $2,000. Okay, good. So we'll know that we can factor that part in. Maybe the construction will be another couple thousand, whatever it might be.
That's got to help realtors save transactions when buyers normally would get a little bit gun shy and want to pull out if they feel more comfortable working with a reputable company that's given them a bona fide estimated range.
Yeah.
That's got to certainly save a lot of deals.
And so when the range is felt reasonable by all parties, and then at that point we have a little bit more time, I'll be happy to go out to the property, physically walk the job, and then give you a hard number. But generally the home inspector will find most damage in the room. Recently, he saw it was one corner, but he didn't look up. So when you look up from where he was standing, we had to do a little more work there. Everyone understood that was just missed by them, and we added on a little bit, and we did the job. The best thing that I left out about that is that we offer the seller a 10% discount on the final number, and we offer the buyer a 15% discount on those estimates. So what does that mean? That means that we're further incentivizing the buyer to go with us after the transaction.
As opposed to that unlicensed handyman, they need to use someone that's reputable.
And so what we found in the past, Ben, is that we've done a lot of these leads, and we've been running around trying to get things in, see the job, get the estimate going, email it, and try to get that all done quickly. That poses a great strain on us and on you guys. So this range has been working out great, and we further incentivize the buyer. So this way the buyer's not taking the discount or whatever. Let's say if they're selling it for, let's say, $100, and now it's $80. Less whatever the deal would be. Then at least I know that I'm in the running to get that job from the buyer, and they're not going with the lowest number, so this way we still have a shot in getting. Because generally when we do these, we do it for the deal falls through, and then we do the job for the seller, and then eventually put the house on the market. This way they can still close the deal, and we can potentially do the deal, do a job for the buyer at the back end of the transaction.
When deals don't fall apart, and they do go to fruition, through closing, do you see more commonly that you're working with the seller to deal with the mold remediation prior to closing, or usually with the buyer doing the mold remediation post-closing? What's more common?
The seller.
Yeah.
So actually, no. Sorry, it's the buyer. We generally, if the deal goes through, then what we'll do is we'll work with the buyer to execute the job after the deal is closed. And a lot of times the buyer doesn't really mind the remediation so much in the construction part of it, because most people are doing some type of renovation when they buy a transaction. So it's just that mold remediation, because to remove moldy drywall costs a lot more than just taking it out because you want a new wall. Or remediating a vanity that's all moldy is a lot more than just taking it out to put a new one in. So that difference, that demo and cleanup, the remediation aspect gets expensive, and so it's important that. But I would say that when the deal goes through, we work more with the buyer.
I've heard someone say in the past that because we're in Florida, high humidity, high heat, there is some level of mold in every piece of real estate here.
Right.
And if that's the case, and people have apprehension, especially our friends come from up north where they've never heard the word mold, or they're very averse to the word mold.
Lucky for them. Yeah.
They can bring you in to do some advanced testing and screening.
Yes.
Even if none's visually available to see on a picture, you can do some air sample quality tests, and you can make them have some peace of mind.
So there's a 2-point aspect. But should we go back to the other question, because I want to talk to you about the deodorization piece.
Please.
So we'll get back to the mold testing part, but the deodorization aspect for realtors and brokers, huge. We guarantee deodorization now. There was a time where we couldn't. We have a state-of-the-art cleaning process and product that we use now that we guarantee that we'll get the odor out. It's a chlorine dioxide formulation. It's the mixture between a liquid solution and a gas that we set off that will not only deodorize the apartment, not mask it, but deodorize it with some cleaning. It depends on if it's, you know, cigarette and nicotine, we have to do some cleaning. If it's curry, we have to do some cleaning. But a lot of times the cleaning is minimal, and we can deodorize a building within 24 hours.
It's got to be great for people that have dog sensitivity, dander, and the smell of animals and pets. That's going to be wonderful.
It's gone, Ben. The odor's gone, and it's phenomenal.
So the family does leave while you're doing this process?
That's the one caveat, which is pretty typical with a lot of deodorization. Over the past, we've done ozone. Ozone is the same kind of where you really should get everyone out. The hydroxyl is another way, but that's less of an issue, and most people can stay in there. And generally, we run those things in offices and stuff. But this product is a deodorizer. It doesn't mask, it'll eliminate, and the results have been phenomenal. We're one of 3 companies in South Florida that actually is certified to do this type of treatment, so you're not going to find this level of service anywhere, or really a guarantee. You know, anyone that has any questions, I mean, just to give you a quick example, I'm on a national account with a gentleman who owns a bunch of single-family homes, like thousands of them. It's like a portfolio, and they rent to everybody. Doesn't matter if you have dogs or you smoke or you cook all the time, because they factor in the price to have this deodorization done. And I do his in South Florida, and he has other vendors around the country, but they know that after that person's done, and I come in and deodorize the house, they're going to rent it that next day, and it's ready to go. So they don't have to really, you know, limit who comes in. They can put the first guy in, and they have that place rented out, and it's like a mill. And so they understand that along the way they'll charge the customer a little smidge every month. So at the end of their lease, they can pay for the treatment.
I'd rather pay a little each month than get hit my security deposit when it's over.
Correct.
You were going to mention about the mold testing. If somebody has some apprehension, you have some testing equipment that you can actually do an evaluation to give people peace of mind?
So what I would do is I would call me, and we offer free estimates during business hours. And I would like to come look at the job first. And it'll take me all of 15 or 20 minutes to take a look around and give you some kind of opinion off the visual inspection that I'll do. But in the state of Florida, you have to be licensed and insured to do the remediation, and have a separate license and insurance to do the testing. So we only do the remediation and cleanup. The testing is done by a third party. The way that the state wants it is when there is a remediation that's ongoing, they want to test it pre and post cleaning by a third party to verify that it was done properly. We're very, very big on that. We want to keep 2 arms, not even 1 arm, but 2 arms distance between us and the lab results, because we don't want anyone thinking that we had any type of steering or bias on the clearance test. Because the clearance test is your get out of jail free. Everyone knows that at this moment in time, on July 31st on 2 p.m., that this place was back to normal fungal ecology. And like you were saying, that there was some mold everywhere. The minute that you open up a door or a window, some stuff flies in. It's just normal. So when you go to do the air quality sampling or the surface sampling, especially the air quality sampling, they always take an outdoor sample to compare it to what's going on inside.
To have a baseline.
And have a baseline or a control, placebo. This way you have an idea of what your expectation level should be. We have certain types of molds that are commonly found outdoors, and the types and levels should be comparable to inside, because there's very rarely do you ever have 0. Sometimes when we're doing remediation clearance, we have 0 because we've been cleaning that containment for days. But generally, you're going to find that there are spores in the house. It's just safe and normal, what's called NFE, normal fungal ecology. So our goal is to get it's not an abatement, not like lead or asbestos where it has to be 0. Mold is very commonly found inside. It's just what are the types and the levels. Some mold is water damage related. There's several of them that are typically only found in a water damage scenario. The black mold, Stachybotrys, that's the big one that everyone talks about. That one is usually not found floating around outside. So if you have it inside, that means there's a colony probably somewhere in the house.
So to help you continue to grow PuroClean, and we want to do that here at Signature,
Thank you.
because we want to continue a great relationship, we're going to keep using your services. But not all my viewers are familiar with you.
Right.
Who's the ideal type of customer we would send your way? Is it residential? Is it commercial? Do you prefer bigger jobs? Do you prefer smaller jobs? I know earlier you mentioned you'd help anybody, but in an ideal situation, it's only 7 days in a week. Who is your ideal customer you're looking for?
So we generally market and try to business development with property managers, board people that are on the board, condos, HOAs, insurance people, whether it's claims or sales, brokers, realtors. You guys find a lot of stuff, and then also tradespeople, plumbers, HVAC contractors. You also have some remodelers that are constantly removing stuff and having to stop work because they find a bunch of damage that was hidden. Those are our ideal referral sources. As far as end users and the people that pick up the phone, obviously a building, a building would be preferred. As far as efficiency goes, to pull up to one job for that week is much more efficient for us than running around the 4 or 5. But we do that too. I mean, it really
commercial as well. But
commercial, we do commercial as well. I mean, really, because we have our sister company, Signal Restoration, like literally just standing behind us, ready to roll. We have 2 Signal offices here in Florida, one in Tamarack and one in like the Tampa area, where we can get resources here in a matter of hours. And I'm talking like Army type resources. So it's nothing's too big. Signal Restoration right now is doing a large loss in Marco Island at a hotel there that had a fire. I believe it was like 150 units that are damaged. That's a multi-million-dollar job, and we're doing that right now. So we have the ability now. My office can't handle something of that magnitude. You literally need an army of people as far as OSHA compliance and drying the building and safety and engineering. That's what they're set up for. I'm set up for basically everything from a little wet corner all the way up till a pretty decent sized loss, but definitely we're not set up to do the $1 million jobs just yet. Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. I found this to be very informative.
Great.
I'm sure our viewers are enjoying everything they've learned as well.
Thank you.
We're going to continue to recommend and refer business to PuroClean. I see how you're going to help us close more real estate transactions.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly give peace of mind to buyers and sellers when they have water issues or fire issues or mold issues. Not uncommon. So thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate it.
This is great.
And best of luck to PuroClean.
Yes.
I want to thank all of our viewers today for joining us on another episode of Signature Tube. Once again, I'm your host, Ben Schachter, broker and owner of the Signature Real Estate Companies. Join us next time. Have a great day.